I asked them about that one particular part where everybody's talking, and they all cried out, Epstein Island. Epstein Island isn't the only island out there.
Something strange has been hiding behind the headlines about Jeffrey Epstein's island. For years, rumors, files, and witness stories have pointed to powerful people, missing children, and secrets that many say were carefully protected. Now, actor Jim Caviezel is speaking openly about what he believes really happened there. He connects the Epstein files, trafficking investigations, and the disturbing search for youth and power among elites. His warning suggests the truth could be far bigger than most people imagine. If even a part of these claims is real, it could change everything we think we know. But what exactly happened to the kids on Epstein Island? Join us to find out. A costly stand. In order to comprehend why Jim Caviezel now speaks with such confidence, it is essential to consider the sacrifices he has made. He was not merely an actor reciting lines in seclusion. He achieved stardom by portraying Jesus Christ in a prominent Hollywood production. Despite being at the peak of his career and enjoying widespread recognition, he made the bold choice to walk away from the glamorous world of celebrity. This pivotal decision marked a turning point in his professional trajectory. The turning point was influenced by the project called Sound of Freedom, a movie depicting the true events involving Tim Ballard, a former government agent who dedicated his life to saving children from the grips of trafficking networks in various Latin American regions. Portraying his risky missions and the harsh realities of these crimes, the film shed light on the dark underbelly of society. While shooting in Colombia, the team was exposed to alarming scenes that left a lasting impression on them. The stark and unsettling truth was glaringly evident in plain sight. At a certain point in time, individuals came forward without hesitation and presented children as commodities. This incident took place right before the film crew, rendering them speechless and shocked. Caviezel couldn't shake off the memory of that moment even after filming had ended. It served as a haunting reminder that the narrative being portrayed was more than just fiction. It shed light on the harsh reality of and its impact on families worldwide, a touching issue that continues to persist in various parts of the globe. Upon its return to Hollywood, the film did not receive the expected enthusiastic reception. Rather than accolades, the project was met with a noticeable lack of support and interest from influential studios and networks. Caviezel went on to reveal that industry leaders had been cautioned against endorsing the movie. Some feared that associating with the film could have negative repercussions on their professional standing and opportunities. Consequently, many companies opted to distance themselves from the project instead of aligning themselves with the narrative they were familiar with prior to making any decisions. For a long time, Caviezel remained vocal about the uncertainties surrounding the movie and its challenging journey. He pondered why a narrative centered on rescuing children evoked such apprehension within the entertainment world. The explanations he delved into often alluded to influential cliques and well-known figures associated with previous controversies. But how were these figures linked to the Epstein files? Let's find out. The Epstein files. When the Epstein documents were at last made accessible to the general public, a lot of individuals anticipated spotting just a handful of familiar names. However, what they came across was far more extensive. The records included an extensive inventory of famous personalities, government officials, movie producers, and affluent individuals who had cultivated reputations as compassionate benefactors and esteemed do-gooders. The vastness of the roll startled numerous readers. It promptly became apparent that the documents would provoke inquiries about influential individuals and the social spheres they frequented. One of the individuals mentioned in the papers was Oprah Winfrey, whose name was mentioned multiple times, sparking widespread interest. Many onlookers were not just focused on her name appearing, but also on the lack of a vocal reaction that ensued. Critics have frequently noted instances where she refrained from addressing challenging subjects related to influential groups. Some viewed this silence as a consistent behavior that fueled further intrigue and conversation. Actor Jim Caviezel is among the rare individuals who have dared to challenge the norm. Utilizing his widely followed platform, he frequently discusses influential individuals and the weight of their choices. His statements have prompted individuals to scrutinize historical occurrences with more scrutiny and reflect on the impact, authority, and reliability of public figures. Regardless of whether individuals share his views, his commitment to provoking such inquiries has ensured that discussions persist. During this conversation, we are reminded of an incident that took place in 2007. In that year, Oprah established a school in South Africa for underprivileged girls. The initiative was widely applauded globally and perceived as a significant display of kindness. Nonetheless, the jubilation was short-lived. Soon after, disturbing accounts emerged regarding issues within the school. A staff member from the dormitory was apprehended following allegations of misconduct towards multiple students. The incident rapidly turned into a prominent news event. Lawsuits ensued, leading to a lengthy legal process. Ultimately, the employee was cleared of all charges when doubts arose regarding the credibility of the individuals testifying. A resolution was reached in connection to the matter behind closed doors, with minimal information disclosed to the general public. Over time, public interest in the story waned, leaving numerous unresolved queries. Some individuals who were closely monitoring the case thought that increased openness could have aided families and students in comprehending the actual events. They questioned if more thorough inquiries could have offered more definitive explanations. Some also argued that the matter had already been resolved through legal means and stressed the continued significance of the school's mission. Hidden power and the silence around Hollywood's inner circles. Jim Caviezel frequently discusses his perspective on the mysterious world that lies beyond the glamour of Hollywood. He believes that there is a secretive society among the elite individuals in the entertainment industry centered around unusual ideas regarding youth, authority, and energy. Caviezel has articulated that there are individuals within these affluent circles who subscribe to the notion that youth can be acquired or passed on. In their view, youth represents a form of power that influential individuals strive to retain as they age. The concepts being shared are not positioned as innovative, with Caviezel frequently characterizing them as long-standing beliefs held by influential factions throughout history. In the narratives he delves into, a select few elites were convinced that absorbing vitality could enhance their vigor and maintain their youth. Some even linked these notions to ancient customs comprehended by a privileged few. Within these traditions, the powerful felt they possessed insights that were inaccessible to everyday individuals. Secrecy is highly valued in this perspective, with Caviezel emphasizing the necessity of silence among all participants. Once someone joins the group, they are inseparably tied to it through their connection. It is believed that sharing in the secret commits an individual to it for life. Revealing the secret would not only betray others, but also put oneself in danger. This fear often leads individuals to stay quiet, even in the face of growing uncertainty. This concept forms what Caviezel has labeled as a compelling dilemma. Those within the inner circle might experience a sense of security as well as confinement simultaneously, while the group provides authority, sway, and chances that are exclusive to a select few. The collective clandestine information acts as a shackle, hindering anyone from leaving voluntarily. The structure endures due to the mutual understanding among participants of the consequences of exposing the truth. Caviezel has compared the structure to a giant octopus, where each individual within the network represents an arm of the creature. Removing one arm does not dismantle the system, as there are numerous others still functioning. To completely dismantle the network, the central controlling entity must be revealed. Until then, the arms will persist in safeguarding the core and sustaining the organization. This conversation is also linked to the ongoing dialogue surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and the exclusive island associated with his actions. Witnesses and investigators have detailed peculiar circumstances on the island and in the luxurious properties linked to it. The report suggests that certain activities surpassed the initial crimes that garnered media attention. Rumors started spreading about unconventional experiments and therapies related to the fixation on eternal youth among affluent individuals. The medical field is currently delving into scientific studies on the process of aging and the physical changes that occur over time. Certain research has focused on the impact of youthful blood substances on older individuals, while other studies have looked into the potential benefits of stem cells and plasma therapies on slowing down aging. All of these investigations adhere to strict medical oversight and ethical guidelines. Nevertheless, Caveizel and others frequently insinuate that influential individuals may attempt to circumvent established protocols in order to access unconventional treatments. According to them, covert alternatives to official procedures could be operating beyond the reach of regulatory scrutiny. These assertions imply that affluent individuals might prefer clandestine approaches that sidestep regulations, clinical trials, and transparency. Regardless of their veracity, these notions have sparked heated discussions and aroused interest. Now, let's go a little deeper into Oprah's role in all this. The influence and hidden role. Oprah Winfrey's impact on culture is unparalleled. She has the ability to determine the popularity of books, instill trust in certain doctors, provide support to leaders, and bring attention to overlooked stories. Over the years, her influence has enabled her to elevate individuals to positions of honor and credibility. In the entertainment industry, her attendance at events and support of individuals can make a significant difference in opportunities available to them. Few can rival the influence and importance of her approval. Throughout time, her connections with specific individuals established a form of sway that extended beyond just friendship. Through endorsing influential individuals like Harvey Weinstein, she provided them with legitimacy and societal approval. The presence of these men alongside her often led young women to have faith in them. Regardless of whether she was aware of the extent of the wrongdoing, her actions empowered predators. As a result, her impact became a means of molding trust and understanding in tangible ways. This trend was seen again with various well-known individuals. Oprah endorsed John of God, a Brazilian spiritual healer, to a large audience, even though he had committed crimes against women. Through her endorsement, she gave him credibility and public confidence that he may not have had otherwise. In a similar fashion, being associated with Diddy placed her in influential and privileged circles that are currently facing scrutiny. This same trend is evident in numerous cases, being close to divisive figures, receiving public approval, and creating a facade of safety around potentially harmful individuals. Jim Caviezel has emphasized that this particular sequence of events does not occur by chance. Oprah serves as a crucial connection point in the web, acting as a link that legitimizes questionable actions and makes them seem socially acceptable. Her role creates the necessary foundation for unethical systems to appear reliable and even desirable. Whenever a scandal surfaces, a familiar strategy is employed: validation, followed by silence, and then a strategic rebranding effort. The focus of the public is shifted elsewhere, typically through acts of charity, public speaking engagements, or promotional campaigns. This tactic effectively shields the system from any significant repercussions, ensuring the safety of those involved. The repetition of the South African school scandal, the Epstein files, and various other scandals highlights a common pattern. As scrutiny intensifies, there is a strategic response: shifting positions, presenting oneself as a problem solver, and reclaiming power. The public tends to focus solely on the resolution, overlooking the intricate web of connections involved. Caviezel underscores that this is not merely about an isolated error or judgment lapse. It is a systematic, recurring strategy aimed at preserving credibility and shaping public opinion. The cost of speaking out. In the late 1990s, Anne Heche and Ellen DeGeneres were in a high-profile relationship that was the talk of Hollywood, depicted as a model of modern love in the media. Despite the public image of happiness, those close to Anne privately reveal a darker side to her experiences during that time. Witnessing troubling events involving influential figures, it took Anne years to come to terms with what she had seen. The difficult truths she struggled to convey eventually led her to start opening up about her past. Anne got involved in a film titled Kids of the Machine, which dealt with the issue of. While working on this project, she started divulging details and her own insights that seemed to pose a threat to some powerful individuals. Informants linked to the film claimed that the information she had put her at risk because her revelations jeopardized the hidden truths that certain privileged people wanted to keep concealed. Speaking up was not only a display of bravery, but also a means of protecting herself. Anne passed away in August 2022 after a fatal car accident in Los Angeles, where her vehicle collided with a building and caught fire due to speeding. Despite reports confirming the presence of substances in her system, her death was ruled as accidental by authorities. However, colleagues and those familiar with her documentary projects suspect foul play, suggesting that the timing of the crash may not have been a mere coincidence. It is believed that Anne may have been uncovering sensitive information that certain influential individuals preferred to keep hidden. Jim Caviezel has frequently discussed a common trend where individuals who uncover sensitive information about the elite experience significant intimidation, warnings, or even more severe consequences. He gives examples from the past, such as the mysterious death of Jeffrey Epstein while in government detention. Epstein's fellow inmate was moved the evening before, and the surveillance cameras near his cell conveniently stopped working at that exact moment. The individual who supposedly had knowledge of numerous influential figures involved in modern scandals passed away, taking those secrets to his grave. According to Caveizel, these occurrences demonstrate the actual risks faced by those who attempt to reveal the truth. Caviezel has emerged as a prominent figure in the public eye, despite being aware of the potential consequences on both his personal and professional life. Through his work, he not only sheds light on prior wrongdoings, but also raises awareness about potential future occurrences. He often speaks about an impending day of reckoning, referring to it as the event, where accountability and exposure will be at the forefront. During various conferences and gatherings nationwide, he discusses how various documentation, testimonies, and investigations are initiating a series of events. In his view, the Epstein files and other evidence of trafficking serve as catalysts for what he believes will lead to a surge in arrests, the downfall of institutions, and the unveiling of long-suppressed information. What made him say this? Stay with us. The hidden networks. More than 300,000 children under the age of 18 have been involved in activities in the United States. Out of these, approximately 85,000 children who entered the country through the southern border have disappeared without a clue. The authorities have not taken any action or provided any information regarding their whereabouts. The case of their disappearance is still unresolved, leaving the public wondering. Each missing child signifies a disrupted life, a desperate family, and a justice system that has failed to deliver justice yet. The relationships between the disappeared children and influential individuals are intricate. Each individual mentioned in the Epstein documents, every person listed on confidential flight records, every guest at intimate gatherings, and every visitor to exclusive properties could uncover information about these missing cases. Those who have closely examined these intricate networks see distinct trends. The blend of confidentiality, affluence, and power has formed a framework where solutions are frequently concealed and legal outcomes are postponed. This intricate network of associations has caused countless individuals to doubt the safety of children and the responsibility of potential interveners. Jim Caviezel has highlighted the importance of the current situation. He argues that even if saints were to come back to earth, they would recognize the urgency for immediate action. In his view, there is a greater need to protect lives and save souls now than ever before. This sense of mission motivates his efforts and advocacy for raising public consciousness. Regardless of one's personal spiritual beliefs, the evidence speaks for itself. The evidence is in the files. The existence of missing children is undeniable, and a culture of silence and collaboration has endured for many years. The networks safeguarding these systems are robust and remain fully operational. Public figures such as Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres, who are associated with these groups, continue to evade scrutiny and maintain their freedom. Those implicated persist in functioning within protective networks bolstered by their influence, riches, and social ties. Caviezel argues that the absence of responsibility is not coincidental. The mechanisms intended to supervise have frequently been undermined or silenced, enabling detrimental systems to persist without intervention. However, despite the potential dangers involved, individuals who speak out against these wrongdoings are starting to appear. Caviezel speculated that many individuals, perhaps even thousands, who are aware of these corrupt networks would eventually come forward. They are slowly and cautiously stepping forward, sometimes putting themselves at significant personal risk to disclose information that could have significant implications. The documentary Children of the Machine, which Anne Heche had been involved in, is still being produced clandestinely. The team involved in the project is dedicated to revealing the information regardless of the challenges they face, with a strong determination to expose hidden truths and seek justice for the children. The enormity and magnitude of the issue are staggering, but steps are being taken to address it. Every new piece of information, every witness account, and every brave informant contributes to a broader effort to uncover the networks and safeguard those at risk. The disappearance of children is a stark reality, as are the powerful forces at play, and people are no longer willing to stay silent. This is a pivotal moment in history, and the urgency to take action has never been more pressing. With persistent bravery from those who are ready to speak up, there is a glimmer of hope that the stories of these children will no longer go unheard, and that justice will finally reach the dark corners where it has been absent for too long. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.